Yu Menglong's mother has disappeared? According to the latest information obtained by commentator Lao Deng, an intermediary who delivered Yu Menglong's mother's letter revealed that he is now unable to contact her. It is clear that Yu Menglong's mother has been placed under control. He said it is very likely that she has already been moved elsewhere, no longer in Xinjiang, no longer in Beijing, but transferred to another location, because no matter what he tries, he simply cannot reach her. Let us all hope that nothing bad has happened to her. Yu Menglong had to die because he knew too much? Regarding the mysterious death of Chinese actor Yu Menglong, which we've been closely following in recent days, every clue that has emerged so far points to one chilling conclusion. After stumbling onto the darkest secrets of the CCP's inner circle, his fate was sealed. Yu Menglong had to die. On September 27th, in his latest video, commentator Li Muyang revealed an email he had received from a friend. According to the message, that friend's sister was connected to a so-called second-generation official in China who spoke openly about the case. The insider claimed that Yu's death was directly tied to a project involving the registration of a company dealing with military weapons. Forced to act as a white glove front, Yu tried to escape the grip of Tianyu media. At the same time, he collected damning evidence on a USB drive, evidence said to expose weapons smuggling tied to military aid for Russia. In other words, Yu Menglong was trapped. Even if he had survived that day, he would never have escaped the CCP's reach. The second-generation official insisted the truth of the case would never see daylight. In China, under the CCP's iron fist, the so-called second-generation Reds and third-generation Reds act with total impunity, doing whatever they wish without fear of the law. If that's the reality, then what chance would anyone have in court? The outcome would only be silence and suppression. The powerful, protected by connections, walk free, while ordinary victims, powerless and voiceless, are left to endure unbearable injustice and pain. This is the true face of life under CCP rule. Since the CCP seized power, countless wrongful cases have vanished into silence, all following the same script. The only difference this time is that Xi Jinping's regime underestimated how far and how fast this case would spread. At a time when China's economy is collapsing, unemployment is soaring, and public anger is boiling with no release, Yu Menglong's wrongful death has exploded like a spark on dry tinder. What began as a domestic tragedy has now rippled onto the international stage, capturing intense attention from Taiwanese media, with even Taiwan's Set News running reports, and sparking overseas petitions demanding justice for Yu, drawing thousands of supporters. On September 20th, a global campaign went live on the international NGO platform AVAZ. Its banner image showed Yu's portrait, stamped with the bold red character meaning injustice. By the time this video aired, more than 80,000 people had signed, and the number was still climbing fast. The petition argued that as more video and audio evidence emerged, it became increasingly clear that Yu's death was no accident, but a brutal, premeditated killing. It called for 3 urgent actions. First, a full, independent, and transparent investigation. Second, prosecution of all perpetrators under the most serious charges. And third, a public apology along with legal and psychological support for Yu's family. Xi Jinping, the princeling who's really the big boss behind the case? Just 2 days after Yu's death, on September 13th, commentator Lao Deng released a video citing an explosive email. The sender claimed that the big boss who forced Yu Menglong into following hidden rules was none other than Xi Jinping, the younger brother of CCP leader Xi Jinping. The email went even further, alleging that Xi Jinping was bisexual, preying on both men and women alike. This allegation takes on new weight when we revisit Yu Menglong's last words, which we published yesterday. In it, Yu described the old man who calls himself a prince. In CCP culture, that phrase refers to princelings, the children of the party's top leaders. In this context, Xi Jinping and Xi YUANPING, The sons of Xi Jinping, a veteran revolutionary, former vice premier, and one of the CCP's founding elites, are the very definition of princelings. From this, it can be inferred that the figure you pointed to was Xi Jinping. Of course, this remains speculation, and at present, there is no way to independently verify it. Still, the sheer scale of the cover-up and the nationwide gag order now sweeping across mainland China, described as the harshest crackdown since the COVID-19 pandemic, suggests one undeniable truth. Without the direct hand of China's top leadership, such a sweeping operation would be impossible. Behind Yu Menglong's death, a hidden clash between Xi's clan and the military? In a previous episode, we reported that Yu Menglong had obtained classified information from Yang Lanlan. To protect himself, Yu Menglong kept these materials. Today, new developments have emerged. According to commentator Lao Deng, Xi Jinping allegedly tasked Chen Wenqing, former Minister of State Security of China, with silencing him as a result. Chen Wenqing then mobilized his subordinates and further encouraged Xin Qi to target Yu Menglong. The entire plot was directed by Xin Qi, who recruited assassins, promised them generous rewards, and even provided each with a passport so they could escape overseas in time. The revelations further claim that, as the old saying goes, the demon is a foot taller, but the Tao is a yard higher. Xin Qi and the other killers never imagined that their assassination plan was being closely tracked and monitored by military intelligence. The entire process of Yu Menglong's murder was captured with professional surveillance equipment. The constant revelations about the Yu Menglong case are also part of the ongoing tug-of-war between the Xi family and the military. If this is true, it could explain why a large number of on-site videos and audio recordings of Yu Menglong's killing have been circulating on social media. As we mentioned earlier, new info suggests the CCP is gearing up for another smear campaign against Yu Menglong. On September 26th, commentator Li Muyang shared a screenshot from Xiaohongshu. The message read, "Got word from another group admin. Tonight at 10 p.m. they'll release dirt on Xiao Yu, probably about abuse or his private life. Don't believe it and spread the word to other groups." The email included group chat screenshots. Attention, smear material on Yu Menglong will be circulating. Reposts, 8 yuan each. AI generated, 200 yuan each. Direct message me. People replied, received. Another screenshot showed an internal, urgent, strictly forbidden to circulate emergency report from the Chaoyang branch of the Beijing Public Security Bureau, claiming Yu was under investigation for assault on September 9th, released on bail the next day, and then fell to his death early on the 11th. Li Muyang said this makes the CCP's playbook clear. Pin a false crime on Yu, then spin the story that he took his own life out of fear. After the news spread, netizens, outraged by these tactics, struck back. So dark. For a great nation, its justice system has become a joke. 1.4 billion people, fooled again and again. This is one of the CCP's dirtiest tricks. To protect the powerful second and third generation elites, they not only shield the perpetrators but smear the innocent dead. If such an evil regime is allowed to thrive, the world truly is doomed. Same rotten playbook. Delete posts, arrest people. The CCP always crushes public opinion this way. There isn't a trace of a civilized country left. At the very same time, Xi Jinping was staring down a crisis in Xinjiang. Reports say he narrowly escaped an assassination attempt during his visit, sending him fleeing in panic, rushing back to Beijing. Xi Jinping narrowly escapes assassination attempt? On September 23, 2025, Xi Jinping led the central delegation to attend the 70th anniversary celebration of the Xinjiang Autonomous Region. That same day, he met with representatives from across Xinjiang, as well as Urumqi-based officers ranked colonel and above. Rumors soon spread of a shocking incident. Xi Jinping had narrowly escaped death in an attempted bombing. According to Du Wen, a former Inner Mongolia CCP official now living in Europe, security services uncovered a plot to attack Xi and the central delegation. At the last minute, The venue was shifted from the brand new Urumqi Olympic Sports Center to the smaller Xinjiang People's Hall. A planned parade and cultural performance were abruptly cancelled, and counterterrorism units from across China were rushed in as reinforcements. CCTV footage only fueled speculation. Duan observed that Xi looked visibly shaken, walking nervously, his face tense. Du remarked, "He really looked terrified this time. I doubt he'll dare return to Xinjiang for the next 5 years, if ever." While he admitted the bombing report remained unverified by Beijing, he insisted it was highly credible. Commentator Tang Jingyuan offered an explanation. Under Xi's rule, Xinjiang had become synonymous with concentration camps, where countless people were killed. Victims of forced organ harvesting and families torn apart left the region steeped in hatred. In such a place, Tang argued, those who might want Xi dead could outnumber even those in Tibet. For this reason, security has always been Xi Jinping's greatest challenge when visiting Xinjiang. To minimize risks for the anniversary, authorities even moved the celebrations forward. Normally held on October 1, the date the Xinjiang Autonomous Region was established in 1955, the event was rescheduled for September 25. Extraordinary measures followed. Residents were barred from leaving their homes near sensitive sites, internet and mobile networks were cut across much of the region, and all civilian wireless signals were shut down. Not surprisingly, no protests or unrest took place. Yet despite these sweeping precautions, rumors of an assassination attempt still emerged. The humiliation was compounded by the scale of wasted preparations. Normally, work for such once-in-a-decade anniversaries begins 5 years in advance. Xinjiang had poured massive resources into stability maintenance and spent years building the Urumqi Olympic Sports Center precisely for this event. The 3.8 billion yuan project, worth about $533 million, spanned 305,000 square meters and was the region's most modern stadium. Construction began in 2017 and finished just this year, only to remain unused. The local government had promised a global audience a live broadcast showing a harmonious, beautiful, happy, and secure new era in Xinjiang. Instead, news of a bomb plot left Beijing embarrassed and humiliated. The following day, on September 24th, an X account called Zhao Ming Observe described Xi as gloomy-faced, dark-skinned, the lines of lost power etched deep. His brow furrowed and lifted again, weighed down with cares, sleepless at night, eyelids so swollen they could barely open. The post added that during his meeting with officers on September 23rd, Xi no longer projected the aura of power, the sense that he could arrest anyone he pleased. Even more telling was the absence of Zhang Yuxia, vice chairman of the Central Military Commission. That absence signaled something larger, that Jiang and the party's decision-making body had already entered gradual retreat mode, preparing to ease Xi out at the upcoming 4th plenary session. Wang HUNING'S silent rebellion. The political chessboard has been reset. When Xi Jinping toured Xinjiang's 70th anniversary exhibition on September 24th, state media cameras captured a rare moment of quiet defiance. While senior officials stood stiffly at attention, hands folded in front or hanging straight at their sides, Xi's closest advisor, Wang HUNING, stood with his hands clasped behind his back. In China's rigid political culture, that gesture is more than casual posture. It's a taboo, something subordinates never do in front of their leader, especially under the glare of CCTV cameras. Commentator Tang Jingyuan called it a textbook sign of contempt, explaining that in CCP protocol, hands behind the back is a stance reserved for superiors listening to subordinates. For Wang to adopt it while Xi lectured was in effect a symbolic reversal of roles. This wasn't a one-off slip. In multiple venues that day, Wang repeated the gesture, even fixing Xi with what one analyst described as a studious gaze, as though he were evaluating rather than obeying. In another hall, Xi spoke with his back turned. Wang remained in the same posture, and even Xi loyalist Kai Chi briefly followed suit, apparently emboldened by Xi's inability to see him. Insiders say the gesture reflects months of quiet whispers, that Wang had already jumped ship earlier this year, pulling away from Xi and quietly siding with figures like Vice Chairman of the Central Military Commission, Zhang Sheyou, and other party elders. If true, these images are the strongest visual evidence yet that Xi's grip is loosening, not just over China, but within his own inner circle. The signs of weakness didn't end there. When Xi arrived in Xinjiang by plane, CCTV carefully avoided broadcasting his disembarkation. Only later did footage leak showing him nearly stumbling on the stairs while Wang Huning and Kai Chi walked behind at a deliberate distance. The image was stark. Xi, once the all-powerful strongman, now looked like a lonely figure, kept at arm's length by his own allies. As Tyne put it, Wang Huning no longer fears Xi. His body language shows he sees Xi as a diminished actor on stage, not a leader to obey. Thus, Xi's performance may be nearing its final act, and the political chessboard has been reset. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. If you found this analysis valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.